Hey, welcome everybody back for some more Blades in the Dark. I'm hopeful that our internet's going to keep up tonight. We've had some issues out here in the little village where I live, as well as my own internal internet in the house. With that, we'll get started here pretty quick. Just a reminder about what Blades in the Dark is. It's a game of thieves and skullduggery that takes place in a fallen fantasy world, a world of almost perpetual night, where a great cataclysm opened the gates of death, and humanity lives behind the lightning towers to keep out the hordes of spirits that have turned the world completely dead. So behind those lightning towers are these cities, and they've advanced into the technological age of the sort of steampunk Victorianish time, but are dependent upon electroplasm, which is harvested from uh, the leviathans that move weirdly through the ink dark seas surrounding our broken continents. Anyway, with that said, and for starting it out, we're going to jump to chat with our players. So you can see our players set up here. And by the way, Felix has been doing some work with playing around with some AI, some neat backgrounds. And I actually started all this without checking to see if Felix was back on stream. Are you there, Felix? Okie doke. So what I'll do is I'll move around then to the rest of the folks. Is everybody? Yeah, okay. So John, let's start with you up top there, Brute.
So if you'd like to bring up Brute's character sheet, you'll see in the bio and info section an illustration of the Brute, just to give people a little flavour of what he looks like.
All right. So I'm bringing him up.
So you need to go to that little tab. And there you go. And as we said before, he's a particularly large man, and he has this uncanny ability to somehow escape notice or perhaps be forgotten. But perhaps the other thing to mention is that he's fiercely loyal, and he looks after those people who he considers to be his friends. He doesn't have many friends. The friends he does have, he's very close to. And in many respects, you'd almost consider it to be a demonstration of love and care for those who he considers to be close to him.
Excellent. All right. Let me do since we've moved to the screen with Roll20. Rob, why don't you tell us briefly about Set It?
Said it's normal Tycheros. Red eyes, red pupils, black eyes, kind of thing that doesn't really put anything breaking over. Apart from harass. Harass is fantastic. Now, to say that harass is fantastic is an understatement. I think it's actually her best quality, to be fair. Lots of people stop, turn, and watch when she walks down the street. She's got a sway and a little swagger that just brings everyone to hello, even the ladies. And she knows it, and she plays on it. That's Nurgle.
Felix, what about you?
I don't actually have a sexy picture on my bio, so I do apologise, Anthony.
That's all good. All right, let's jump across to Wrecker.
Turn my mic on. Wrecker is a Victorian character, very feral-looking, dishevelled labourer type, but he does have some experience in the past of tinkering around and creating things and wrecking things. He used to be in the military. He worked there as a medic for a while. He saw quite a lot of gore and blood in his time out, which led him to develop a drinking habit, which he indulges as a pleasure whenever he gets downtime. but he's pretty hooked on it now, so he just enjoys it. That's about it, really.
Very good. Let's see here, Pete. Let's hear about Twitch.
Yeah, so Twitch is a lurker. He's small, he's slight. What people don't know about him, well, when he can, he likes to disguise himself as an upright member of society and volunteer at soup kitchens for the homeless.
Ah, something we did not know at all about Twitch. Interesting. Okay. Mara.
So I play Mara Moon. Mara is quite a slim, wiry, almost insignificant to look at character. Most mousy brown hair. She's got a big, loose, oversized cloak with black fur-trimmed hood that she keeps pulled up over her head pretty much most of the time. So she slips past into the shadows a little bit like Twitch does. She disappears as often as she can from sight, keeping herself out of the front line, shall I say. When she does pull down her hood, the thing you'll notice strange, really, is that she tends to always wear these dark sort of sunglasses, which is very, very strange in a place where there is really no sunlight. When she does pick those glasses up, you'll find being stared at by these eyes, which are sort of silvery liquid pools almost. You're never quite sure where she's looking. Is she looking at you, through you, past you? Where is she focusing?
Very good.
That's
All right. That's neat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of you guys' character sheets that I was putting up onto the screen, and we'll get ready to get started here. So what I'm going to do is move you over to our regular screen that we play upon. Where did I put that guy? Right here, and I will make sure that yep, okay, so we can all see this. We see that on the right side of the screen, we've got a overview map of Duskval, the city that our folks all live in. We see that they have some different institutions in underworld and labor and trade and all those over on the side. Those are other factions that they're dealing with. They have some clocks running. We have a clock where Magistrate Nog puts 2 and 2 together. And on this one, I'm actually going to move that up and make that worse. I'm going to choose a side. This is really pretty fancy. And when it's 2 and 2 together, it's that Nurgle, who he has a serious crush on, a former law student of his, is actually working in the underworld, maybe responsible for the stealing of Vivienne out of the Red Lantern and some things like that. Actually, the keyhole is where she was stolen from. The Foundation, then the next one, is also trying to figure out who ghosted away Wick, a renowned art thief who has shamed them in the security that they have built into some of the buildings. The Foundation is still looking to figure this out, and they'd love to still catch Wick if they ever could get their hands on him. Lord Delvar is searching for Vivienne, and that's the next one, who our team is managed to liberate from where she was in servitude in a brothel. The Bluecoats are getting close to figuring out about Brute and that he is the one who broke out his sister from right under their noses. And then Wrecker has completed one during their last downtime in which he developed a alchemical formula for a group of teenagers who have a bit of a gang. They're called the Blue Devils, and he has made what we call affectionately Wrecker's poop juice as a swift acting laxative that they wanted for an unknown reason. So with that going on, we'll shift into our free play period as we sort of do some of that, and then we can also move towards some gathering information rolls, and then move towards hopefully a score of some sort during this period. So in this, our folks' ship has moved around, and they have parked it up over at the top end of Silk Shore. They're across from Crow's Foot and above the bridge that goes across from Silk Shore to Crow's Foot in what we are calling the Grand Canal of the Doss River, coming up here towards the Norfolk Channel and the docks and so forth. So on this boat, the camera pans across this dark city, multi-story buildings, towers of Victorian look. There's the sparkling lightning towers all the way around the city, which you see out like here, and these lightning towers, and the great arcs of electroplasmic driven electricity that keeps out the hordes of undead and dead and spirits and all that stuff on the outside. It swoops down the canal past some of the Leviathan hunter ships that are moored. You can see sailors disembarking into the dock area. You can see that there are some shards of a broken sun that are just starting to set below the horizon. What limited shadows there are quickly fleeing. And then we come down to the boat. Our crew is sitting around the table discussing what to do next. The interior is warm. They have a log burner type setup that burns coke, and they have some of that in there going, making everything warm. But it also has that sort of dank, peaty smell of the not as processed coke. Added to that smell is once again some stew that has just been set in front of them in the porcelain bowls. And most of them have a chip here or there, but they're all still functional. And these folks are spooning hot stew into their mouths as they are trying to decide what to do next. It might help if you guys sort of talk a little bit about some of the problems that are impacting each of you, and then we can go from there. Okay, guys, talk.
I think one of our pretty much more pressing problems is this Castor dude. He is becoming pretty invasive into our activities. I think we need to maybe do something along the lines of sorting him out.
Can you, for those that are joining and didn't see our downtime last time, maybe talk a little bit about the problems you're having with Casta and who he is?
It knows Castor the best of all us, but
Okay.
Castor is an assassin, I believe.
He's a wanker. I think I got him. I know I got him. But you know what? I didn't get him straight in between the eyes.
No, you didn't.
And I bet you that little tosser's still frigging breathing, and I'm seething. I'm absolutely seething.
And he is definitely making our lives awkward with his activities. I think we need to put a stop to his attempts to kill us. Not helping having bullets fly past your head. You're trying to make a score.
That is correct.
He's
What
dangerous. He needs dealing with.
What other problems do you have right now, Mara? Isn't someone spreading rumors about you?
Oh, they are indeed, yes. A nasty little weasel is making my life a little bit difficult, yes. I have a gentleman called Flint, a spirits
Ah.
trafficker, vile, vile person who takes advantage. He is trying to tell the world that I kill Scovelander babies and use their spirits in my rituals. These are lies, complete lies. I've never done any such vile thing. Never, nor would I. The spirits know, but sadly, unfortunately, people don't listen to spirits and don't realise.
We've also got to worry about this presence that's upset Sedit, that seems to be fairly close by. There's quite a lot of problems.
I think Mara may have a guess at what this presence was. After Sedit returns from being beaten by the police during your downtime, and got to commune with Sedit the cat, there was a period where he understood and got the glimpse from this feline creature that this was a demon, and one of you at least knows that there is a demon that is actively hunting at least one of you, and that is another problem set.
Indeed, there is a demon which has taken offence to my activities. Argos the Pitiless, he's searching for me. I've put up barriers to try and protect myself as best I can, but he's searching.
See that?
What that it has seen.
You see that's kind of alarming to me, because what's concerning me the most is that I thought that there was barriers around Duskfall to stop the demons and things from the Deadlands getting in. Or am I mistaken about the demons able to cross into Duskfall?
So Mara knows that the lightning towers do a lot, and they're backed up by the spirit wardens who mop up other things that might slip in here and there. But demons and devils and things are not held out necessarily by that, especially ones that are powerful. All right. So I'll add, before you discuss this completely, I'd like to add a couple more pieces that we haven't completely covered. We do know that Rosalind Kellis has gotten into the spark business, and that we also know that there's someone else that started to run Spark, a certain Polona. And we'll talk about that a little bit, John. And then in the last bit, I'd like to throw in there, I'm sure there are several other issues. We do know that the Jewel Bird and Shine, in particular, is being heavily shaken down by a faction, specifically by a one Brody Relgar of the Cauliflowered Ear, who works for Ulf.
Yes.
Indeed.
Just to remind,
haven't we, though?
Well, yes, we don't know.
Don't know how well it's taken.
We don't know if that's had any effect yet, but could be interesting. Yeah.
And we do know that Polona owes Ulf and his boys some money.
Yes.
Okay, so back to your discussion.
We do.
Sorry.
And she was, I think, Polonia is supposed to be taking the spark from Lady Rosalind Kellis to the Lampblacks.
Ah, yes. That's right. And oh yeah, we do have from last downtime something that happened. There is a savage beating to death of one of the lamp blacks, and I have not put that up on our sheet here in Roll20 yet. But even though they don't know exactly who has done this, there is now a connection between you guys and the lamp blacks. In fact, there's a double connection because the lamp blacks were hired by Lord Delvar as the competing team in trying to get the key to Vivienne's collar in the through the keyhole adventure that you guys participated in to free Vivienne. So they were humiliated in that. They don't know exactly who, and so there's a couple of complications starting up with the lamp blacks. Okay, back to you guys. Sorry, thoughts.
Well, we've got to think of what we want to do. This is going to be we've got to go on a mission, really, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got to decide on which one we would most like to do. I'm guessing.
I think there's lots that we have that we need to deal with. The question is, what's the most urgent?
Or is there any more downtime left? Have we actually gone? We haven't gone into the mission as yet. So are there things that we can do now?
So before the mission starts, you can do gather information rolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, there's a few things that might be worth doing then first.
Okay.
Like for instance, like if we're going to fight this demon, and there are people that are doing it on the outskirts anyway. There's an organisation, I guess, that particularly fight demons. Would it be worth getting them on our side? So that's another information thing we could do. I don't know, or we just go straight into a particular mission.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know how we would begin to fight a demon, so that would be useful information to have, definitely.
Can we do that? Find out.
Okay.
If there's a way in. Are they a faction in their own right? I don't know.
So the ones I mentioned, the Spirit Wardens, they are not a group that actively hunts or messes with demons. Their main goal in life is to catch the ghosts of anyone that dies within this city, and they get the body as soon as the person dies. They submerge it in electroplasm and destroy it and the spirit, so that no new ghosts are made. They also will try and hunt spirits that are within the city, and they will police those that they see consorting with spirits if they can catch them. But they are not dedicated to hunting demons. So I'll save you chasing that particular thread. You do not know of any organization unless you go looking for one that does that particularly. Okay.
And what was the name of the guy's house that was shaking down everyone in the house? We spied on him. I spied on him at one point.
Captain Drake Marn.
What do you think, John?
I don't know. There's too many options for me. I'm hoping someone else is going to have a good idea. And I can just follow.
Do you have any particular worry about Polona at this point?
No.
Okay.
Can Mara hit up her contacts, find out how we could possibly summon and trap a demon?
Sure.
Okay.
Feels like we should be doing so many different things. I'm not quite sure where to start. And don't forget, we've also got this
I'm guessing that
nameless exhibition coming up and stuff as well.
Yes, there's that coming up.
Jesus. And this is the exhibition of the dead dissected chap.
That is something.
And Nog's looking quite suspicious as well.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a plethora of things to do, and as John does in his D&D adventure, it's sort of wide open. And this time around the table, as coffee is now brought out to all of you, which you never would have been able to afford before. But strangely, you guys have upped the quality of your food and drink, particularly on your vessel, because you're rolling in it at the moment.
So this is mushroom coffee, I take it.
Actually, no. This is real bean. This is been raised under electroplasmic lights and things like that to make it. So it's
Wow.
extremely expensive.
Wow. Right. I mean, has anyone got a preference? Someone must have a preference. If not, then I say we go after the try and go after this demon. Just because I've got the shits about that at the moment, but they all sound interesting. I really don't care.
Yeah, let's try and deal with the demon.
Okay. So, I'm hearing 1, 2, 3 people possibly in your group, and then Brute said he was ambivalent and not too concerned with Polonia's safety at the moment. So, okay, she's probably taken a bit of a lesson from the beating that guy got in front of her, and hopefully that'll keep her in check for a bit. Does it so we can go to like a gather information type role? And so, is there anyone that would like to try and gather some information about either Agaz or the demons? Actually, we've had already a little bit of information gathering on Agaz earlier, which is why we know this particular demon's name and a couple of little things about him. Let me.
I had done a little bit of research, hadn't I, with my compatriot Nene, as a ghost spirit.
Absolutely.
And I think a little bit of information with Salia as well, I believe.
Yes. So
Gained.
the way gathering information works is you tell me what your specific question is, and it has to be sort of fairly specific. You make a roll based on a skill you use to do such, and then based on your roll's success, you get some information on the particular question you're trying to get. So, like 1 through 3, you get just a little bit of information. 4 or 5, you get pretty much everything you wanted. And on a 6, I try and come up with other things to add to it. Okay. Is there
the other? I don't know who are the 2 people that you just mentioned. Was Mara?
So Nirex is a friend of mine. He's a ghost, a possessed ghost who I have had interactions with before. In fact, we saw him in the dockyards that time. He helped us out, creating a distraction for us so we could escape the vigilantes who are coming for us. But anyway, to escape. So he's helped us in the past. The other one is I think what it's called. The Salia.
Salia? Yes.
Well, she's oh god, what is she? Gone blank.
Yeah. The word is reconciled.
Reconciled. She's reconciled.
Okay. The other thought I had is if you look at our shady friends, have we all got the same ones, or are they different for different people?
Everyone has different ones, but I think but then there's the crew contact, which we've got Roz, a blue coat, as a crew contact. So
the only 2 shady friends that I've got that may be of use is Veldrin, who's a psychonaut, or
what exactly is a psychonaut?
a psychonaut. I'm guessing it doesn't actually tell me, but I'm guessing it's someone who kind of goes on trips and finds stuff out that way through that kind of realm.
Okay.
And then there's also Melista, who's a priestess. priestess of I'm not sure what, but she's a priestess, but she may have had contact with the netherworld or whatever.
Are you talking about on your cruise sheet?
No, this is on my shady friends.
I see. Okay.
Friends?
Yeah, I jumped to the wrong.
Oh, strange friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Actually,
Oh, mine's a strange.
am I a different character? Oh.
Nope, you're in the correct one. So Veldrin, a psychonaut.
I don't have two then.
Nice.
I have one. You have two.
Well, one enemy and one friend.
Yeah.
So,
One enemy and one friend.
all right.
So,
So there's some ideas.
Looking at the rule book, it seems like what we would need to do is track down a ritual.
That is a good possibility.
Right.
And you need someone with the skill to cast rituals, which Mara is getting fairly close to. She's only like 3 ticks away from being able to do, if she took casting rituals as something she wanted to do. So actually, finding a ritual,
Oh, that's right.
finding things about this Agaz are all really good ideas. In fact, I think if some gather information started out on the finding a ritual, I think it's going to lead us to some interesting things.
I'm very happy to do some studying on that.
Well,
Yeah.
what skill are you going to use?
I would use study.
Study.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And can we help you in that in some way? How many points have you got?
I've got 2 points in study.
No, I've only got 1. I've got Tinker as well, if that helps. Has anyone else got good score in study?
What is the question being asked, and who's making the roll? And let's move towards getting some answers.
Trying to find a ritual to dismiss or imprison.
Okay.
I'm thinking that maybe on this particular role, I don't think I'm going to be very useful, but I might be useful in terms of finding out, maybe putting out some feelers and finding out information about where the demon might be located, if that's going to be something we need to do.
I think that's a legitimate.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely need to.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to do that while everyone else is working out.
I think our question is trying to find a ritual where we could imprison or banish this Aragos.
So, Rolf,
can we bottle him up like you can with spirits?
That's another question.
That's something that basically would get Aragos out of, out of Mara's hair. I mean, even something like a restraining order would do. You know? so you can't approach within 100 meters.
Well, I mean, I've heard that it's only rumours, but I had heard that the Immortal Emperor had bound most of the demons before the Cataclysm, but how that would be, and I doubt very much that I would have the skills to recreate what that sort of person could do. I think we're looking at something very much more simple.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know.
It's unlikely that it would be anything permanent.
No. I mean, maybe there's a variant version of a spirit bane charm that would basically you can target as like a particular demon or something.
Yeah, or if you could perhaps mislead the demon. I mean, I know that this particular demon tracks you through thoughts. That I've learned already. And if there would be some way to mislead him into thinking that somebody else was me, was who he's seeking. So maybe even Flint.
Can we fake your death or your demise?
I'm not sure it would fool a demon.
So as you guys are continuing to discuss this, I'm going to really quickly have Brute tell me his question, and then make his roll.
Okay. So I'm going to take a walk.
Okay.
I'm going to walk around the city, speak to some of the people that I know, drop in on a few folks, and what I'm trying to find out is where there might have been activity that would indicate this demon may have been.
Okay.
See if we can build up. See if I can build up. So the idea is that what I'm trying to do is see if I can build up a pattern
Okay.
of where it might be, hiding out most of the time.
So
just to get an indication. I'm not trying to be, down to the individual address, but I'm just trying to get a feel for where we might find it when it's time.
Okay.
So we can get the cat close.
Excellent. So
So
I got a lot of that. Can you boil that into a one sentencey type question that I can riff off of when you make your roll?
Are you still having issues with my audio?
Yeah, it's a little bit blurberly, but I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. So I want a general location, basically a block-sized location.
Okay.
Could we not send the group of youths out to maybe ask people if they've come across any strange shit?
So Felix, if you want to do that, I'll just give John an extra dice help.
Yeah, that's just
on whatever role he makes. So at that, instead of because I am conscious of time and everything else, instead of going through the role playing of the poop juice and all that, we'll save that for another time. But you do engage their services for less than a coin. It's not a big deal. They're just interested in running around, and they will provide information back to you, Brood, as you're doing this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see this roll.
This is a consort roll.
Consort. Got it.
Is it controlled, I suppose?
It is. And it'll be standard effect.
Standard effect, one would assume.
Yes, sir.
And I get an extra dice, is that right?
Correct.
See what happens.
All right.
Sadly, we just can't get a bead on where this thing might be.
Well, you don't get that, but you are going to get some information. It's not a fail. It's just you get less. So what you do get is that there is evidently a cult of Agaz. That there are people that actually do something or other in worship of this thing, though you don't know much beyond that just because of the role.
Okay. Well, that's useful information. I'm going to come back and I'm going to feed that back to the.
Okay.
To the.
Well, you've got some information, so that's good. Maybe Sedit should take Sedit for a walk and then see what happens.
Mara, we were beating in on the question that you were wanting to ask and how you're going about it. Do you want to go through that?
I guess that's help with the group. What do we think? So,
how am I phrasing this question?
The question is the location of a ritual that could protect a person from a demon.
Okay, so you want to know the location of the ritual.
Yeah.
No, I'd want to know the ritual itself.
Yeah, I don't think that's
the ritual and its location. Where. I think that would come as part of the ritual itself. It would tell you.
Looking at rituals, it looks like they come in books. You need a whole book, so that's the sort of thing that's going to be in a library or a museum or a private collection somewhere.
Yes. Send me back to the library. Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where we would get the information to set up a score to actually get the book. You see what I mean?
Okay.
So you do know that in that particular library that we're talking about,
Yeah. The one
and
where
I
I've had
think that
some.
was, I think that was from our second downtime. I'm scrolling over to that. The College of Immortal Studies in White Crown, and you did manage to get past the doorman, if I remember
did.
right, and
Okay.
no time
But
to
he-
wait for the dean. You used Lord Delvar as the name you dropped, and
I
you
did.
did find that book on demonology. But there's also a pretty good um, card catalog of other books that exist elsewhere in the city, because nobles like to borrow from each other, and they also like to own books. And this card catalog would tell you, you might get a good idea looking at some of the books, like the one on Argos, as well as through that to get an idea of maybe where this particular ritual is located.
Yeah, I think we would need to know Argos's weaknesses. I don't think I've discovered that yet. I know that he can track you through thoughts, but I've never been able to discover any weaknesses that he might have or any chinks in his armor that we could pin him down with, shall we say, which would be very handy to know.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's
Yeah. What I've managed to find about him has not been helpful.
Got it. So this particular search of the library, once again, you're going to need to sort of get in and make the. Okay, said it's going to restart his PC. So we'll see him dropping off for a minute, and then we'll catch him. Sorry about that, Rob. Having an issue. That does happen. It'll be getting back into that library. It'll be researching and determining that. So whatever you want to roll for that, I think is fine. You're not really banned from this place or anything like that, if I remember correctly.
No, not banned. I think he's just keeping his eye on me, shall we say?
Yes, and there is
trouble.
yes.
Full discuss.
I was going to say, if you needed somebody to keep him occupied while you sneak in, then I can help. But if we've not got to that point yet, then I'll stay out of the way. Yeah.
That's actually that's an idea.
Yep, distracting him.
Well,
I mean, by distracting him,
you're
I
not
mean,
banned yet, so I trust
loom over him and threaten him quite a lot.
Just go in, just walk in and find the key.
Okay.
I mean, various of us could do that, couldn't we?
Absolutely. You could all sort of go in and start help her peruse the books. As she could send you to different locations and all that, and that'll get her an extra die.
Okay.
All right. So that's what we all go in there mob-handed, and then we all just dodge around the place. If the guy comes up for one of us, we sort of lead him a merry dance around the place while she actually does the work.
Very, very good. So you find the book that you found earlier that gave you some information on Argos, and it is footnoted that it comes from the details are in the book of deep. Let's see. Actually, book of the deep. We're going to call it. And this particular book, if you go look for this, maybe it's got that information. But we'll go ahead and make your information roll, and I've given you information already. I shouldn't have done that.
Ah!
I got cheated. Okay. Here we go. You're enjoying that too much. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make this roll.
I'm making a study roll.
with an extra dice for your buddies.
So this is just a control.
Absolutely controlled, standard.
Yeah.
Good.
Submit standard. Yeah. Got an extra dice for my buddies. Lovely. And let's roll.
Okay. So you do get information. The amount of information is curtailed a little bit by, actually, 4 or 5 is standard amount of information. Yep.
The screen for me is showing that I rolled a 1, a 4, and a 2, and yet the dice I see is a 4, a 4, and a 4.
That's interesting because my dice on my screen show 4, 1, 2 as it should.
And yet mine show 4, 4, 4.
I already clicked mine away. So.
But what does it say in chat?
It's 1, 4, 2.
There's 1, 4, 2 in
Yep.
chat.
And so we all have that. And
this happened last time.
Yeah.
We did have a little bit of weirdness like that.
Bit weird.
So let's see here what it says. A 4, 5 is information plus a little bit. It's not just the base information. So what you're going to learn out of this, and let me make sure I do this correctly. The book itself is in the possession of one Lord Scurlock in his personal library. You do know that it will probably require some particular materials that have yet to be named and would be found in that book. That's some extra information you know. You do know that, and you do find that Argaz gains some power and capability based on whatever is going on with the worship from his cult.
Ooh, okay. Well, what is his cult and where's his cult based? Do I know that?
So that's not found easily in this book, but it evidently has one of the things that this cult does is they, much as we saw Argaz's excitement about hunting the reconciled, it has something to do with trapping of ghosts. That's part of the their ritual that supports him. Whether he consumes them or enjoys them in some way, they that is what they do.
Okay. Good to know. So, couple of lines of attack then. We could weaken this demon by going after his cult.
We possibly could, yes.
Okay.
And also, the cult may have more information.
Yeah.
They may have books.
And obviously, there's this book that Lord Scurlock has. And we have we not got to get into Lord Scurlock's house to get to Costa?
Potentially, yes. Yes, although...
Lord Scurlock is definitely looking like he's going to be getting himself some extra friends very, very soon.
Yeah, I mean, I certainly wouldn't want to go up against Lord Scurlock, though, as a powerful vampire. So, I think we would want to pick a day when he's out. But then again, that didn't work out so well for us last time we tried it, did it?
Sometimes the dice. Yeah, well, that was Lord Delvar's place. How are you to know?
It always goes down to a 50-50 chance, doesn't it? You know?
And so those are some really neat ideas. I'm excited to see where you go with those. Is there any other information gathering that anyone would like to do about anything else? I think we've had, 2 solid information gathering rolls. I suspect be perfectly happy if you guys used up 2 more if you wanted to, before I sort of push the issue of you making some decisions and moving forward.
So was it? Have we had a roll specifically about tracking down the whereabouts of this cult?
This cult, yeah.
No, you have not.
That would be very useful and handy to know.
That's what we should do. Yeah.
Okay.
Indeed.
So how are you guys going to go about that? Who's going to make the roll? What's the question? And we'll start moving that way.
Have a look. What would be an applicable?
Just find one of them and shake him down.
Is anyone any good at hunt? That would seem like a most.
So that would be a absolute capability of a hound, and I don't know if Rob is back. He's on roll 20. Okay, but
He's chatting.
he's struggling with his. Okay.
We do. We need a hound.
Can we get him to?
We have two.
Fortunately, they're asleep on the floor and not much use at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hearing us on Twitch, Rob. Sadly, that means we're not hearing you. I guess it's a bit of a problem that we've got
I just
going.
haven't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
We can
Brilliant.
hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Perfect. So, so they were talking about possibly a hunt as the gather information role. You heard that. So, what do you guys
Yep.
think? What are you guys going to do? What's the question?
Well, what are we hunting? The demon or the
The cult.
Mind you,
We're hunting the cult that feeds him. We think.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, we can kill two birds with one stone because the book that you're after is over at Skullvolds. Casters at Skullvolds. The cult, Skurlock even. The cult will be at Skurlock's as well.
Wait.
We don't
Where?
know that.
No, we don't know.
We don't know that. That's what we need the hunt for, to find out where this hangs out.
Yeah. Ah, right. Okay. Sorry, am I jumping the gun slightly?
Yeah, you are a little bit.
Tiny
Oh, okay.
Just a teeny weeny little bit. Just a teeny weeny little dice roll.
Teeny weeny one.
I mean, Lord Skurlock at the moment is like bulging at the seams with plot devices.
Yeah, he is.
It's going to
I mean, if it's not there, I'm going to let Sedit eat my hat.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do we know about the cult? Do they practice during the day, or are they more in the evening? Because I would much prefer to go in the solace of darkness.
So you guys, well, it's always dark. Just sometimes it's darker than others. So, so don't worry. You're not walking around in the middle of the day, no matter as we know it here in our world. So your call on how you want to do that. We don't know about their activities or when they do things. What little we've heard already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean,
have I? Sorry, on.
We think that they operate, they trap ghosts. So that may be a way of trying to find them. Is if we can find cases where ghosts have, known ghosts have gone missing, we could possibly track their activity back to them from there.
Okay. So straight to Mara. Is there how do you know how the ghost spirits are trapped? Is it a device? Is it a
it would be a ritual. It would be a ritual to try and trap them.
Right.
I mean,
do we know what the ritual uses? Because basically, I'm wanting a scent.
Sadly, no. That will be in the book, which is in Lord Skurlock's.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I mean, we don't know how undercover this cult is. Maybe they hang around on street corners with shaved heads and hand out pamphlets.
So you do know that you can capture spirits in spirit bottles, of which you already have 2, Mara.
I have spirit bottles. I don't think they have spirits in them, do they?
Yeah. Wow. Got some loud noise in the background.
That's Felix.
Yeah, it's like you were like working with power tools.
This could explain things. I might be using the wrong microphone.
Ah, okay. Cool. Okay, so what is this
Okay.
question? And let's start moving towards this. I'm getting excited. These things are starting to come together in my brain.
No.
So, I mean, for me, as I've been tasked to do what a hound does, which is to go on a hunt and find my prey, my assigned target. My question would be, where's the colt?
Okay. Where's the
Good
cult?
question. That's the question. Yeah.
Very good. So you can make that
So,
hunt roll. Do you
yeah.
want? Do you have anyone you can leverage for an extra die?
I mean, I can help you out by tracking people from the shadows.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it'll help. I could help out maybe by attuning to the ghost field and seeing if there's a particular zone where lots of ghosts have disappeared from. I might give us an area that.
Yeah, your ghostly contact might know of cases.
Okay.
Well, failing that, does your ghostly spirit contact have a nemesis that he keeps close? That it keeps close that it wouldn't mind sacrificing. Maybe if we parade it around enough, the cult will try and snatch it. Exactly. You know, I'm never one for fishing. I'm more shooting. But yeah.
So we've got the question. We've got a dice of help that comes from several of your members helping out, whether it's Twitch, who is also serving as extra eyes for you, and Mara, who is doing her own investigation. So go ahead and make your roll with an extra die, because you can only get one extra die for help. And we've got a 5. Okay, so here's the information I'll give you. Mara, there is a zone that seems to be in the backside of Coleridge, somewhere over in here, where there have been more deaths recently. And you hear that when the spirit wardens have gotten there, ghosts are missing. And the sad detail to that is this is a Scovelander community, and most of the deaths are among infants and young children.
Okay.
We also learn out of this that, sure enough, there is a cult of Agaz, and it has a ritual temple in one of the many little mini temples that are on the tops of these little towers in Night Market to forgotten gods and weird things. They have on top of one of these towers a building. You know, it's a fairly rough timber construction on top of one of these towers with a couple of there is a bridge that goes across to it from another building over a small canal. And so there is a cult of Agaz church, of all things.
So is this an open thing, or is this?
Well, you guys could go walk up to it and ask. Actually, it's part of, no, this is part of it. Yeah, as you're investigating that, no, this is a invitation only type club.
Okay, so I'm going to take it out for a couple of days to see if anyone prominent. Where is it? Night Market. I don't know. We don't know anybody in Night Market, do we?
Not that I know of. Off the top of my head, you
Anyone in
might.
Night Market?
You might. As you look through that, I will say that you have. I'll give you one last gather information, and then that's we're needing to move towards a score of some sort.
I would say the last piece of information we would want would be when do they next meet this cult, or what is their meeting schedule?
Okay.
Does that seem sensible? Because then we can
Yep.
basically
And this could be.
I mean, I'm thinking Wrecker and some of his explosive devices might come in handy.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're talking about probably
nice big tower.
so
Sounds,
I would know that.
And while he's he puts the explosions around it. He puts the explosives around. The whole thing blows up. If any bits of it are left over, I can come along and just pull them down, and then we can all run away. Perfect.
So
Can you hear me?
yes, we can.
Oh, brilliant.
So this sounds like you're in the process of some sort of stakeout to get that particular information. Who's going to make this roll? And I assume that others are helping. So there's already another die.
Okay, well, if it's a stakeout, then how about Twitch does a stealth roll, a prowl roll, yeah, with an extra die.
Not really for stakeouts. That's more for.
I'm sorry, I missed that last bit.
Prowl it really isn't for stakeouts. That's more for, getting round things and
sneaking about, people not spotting you.
Travel about and see, but we're not really wanting to.
I'd just say it was more survey location of situation.
Yeah,
trying to do
that's
that.
good.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please remind ourselves that there is no right or wrong answer?
Exactly.
There is only justification.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, if you're prepared to, if Anthony's prepared to accept prowl, I have 4 dots in prowl. So
absolutely. So what I'm saying is,
how only have 4 dots in prowl?
4 dots.
Oh, he is. He has been plugging it in. So
I don't have any advancements.
I don't know why.
Okay. Sorry, so
what we'll say,
John.
The difference between this survey and this prowling is that you are basically going to make you're going to get as close to this thing as you sneakily can, and do your prowling around this thing. So it's a movement, not a watch. Okay, that's how I'd say you could justify that. I can still say you can justify having help from your friends, but I am gonna, because of this last roll where there are multiple people helping, and I was able to use what they did in different ways. I'd sort of like to know how the others were helping. So, for instance, Mara said that she was doing a survey of the town, and so I made that part of the answer.
No, I'm not doing a survey. I was saying that maybe a survey of the town would be the sort of thing.
Okay, yeah.
I have no skill in that. You wouldn't want me to survey anything.
Well, I would say that maybe some help from Sedit in terms of hunt to locate who to follow and where to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sedit, are you going to support on that?
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing about the hunt is it's about the locations and movements of the people that I'm actually hunting. So once I've got a bead, I can then I can just keep tracking that person and making sure that I know that. And then when they next go, you know what night they normally turn up.
Okay.
Trying to see if there's anybody who goes to the church with distinctive, I don't know, dark robes with Death Eater masks and holding wands. Those type of people. Let's see what type of crazed individuals go in there, and if there's more than one, then maybe the cult has, I don't know, a uniform per se. At the moment, we know where the cult is, but we don't know when they're next going to meet, when they meet, if it's regular meets. So that's exactly
the question.
That is the question.
That's what we.
Okay. So, let's do it.
So as I was doing my original hunt, okay, I think I would have just stayed there and carried on watching and set it on the top or something. But
You do that then. You do that.
So
you know,
so sure, and you'll give a extra die to Twitch
Okay.
as he does his prowl, because while he is prowling around in tight, you are doing a stakeout over time. So between those two, we'll see what happens. So go ahead, Twitch. Let's see what happens.
Okay, is it a controlled roll?
Yes. Nope.
Okay.
I take that back. I'm going to make
Okay.
this risky, but
Risky
still with a
roll.
standard effect.
Yeah. Okay. 100 dice. Go.
Okay, 5. So we didn't get the critical 6 that might have given you a teeny bit more. But here's the things that that we're going to give you on this. Couple of things. As you're prowling around and sort of moving around these other buildings and maybe even talking to a couple of folks, you do learn that they have a tendency to have gatherings at the setting of the shards of the sun. Those meetings tend to run for a couple of hours. The building itself doesn't seem to be incredibly important to them because they leave it empty and unguarded when they're not there. And there seems to be at least 20 to 30 of these folks, and they have to cram in pretty well to get all together. And I will add one other tidbit. And I'm gonna see. So, we'll jump out of you can't know this, Mara, but how would you describe Flint?
How do you mean? What in terms
What's
of
he
his
What's he
look?
look like? Yeah.
God knows. He's a dark, swarthy
Okay.
guy with a limp. I seem to remember.
Okay.
Slightly stooped shoulders. Yeah, I think he's missing a few teeth from some of the fights he's got into.
Is this Treasure Island?
Yeah. So,
No, not a wooden leg. He's not got a wooden leg. He's
yeah,
just got a
exactly.
limp. Bit of a limp.
And a parrot.
So,
No parrot. I think he was a monkey. No.
So said it. You see someone that fits that description, though you don't know that description, you might tell it to your friends later, who seems to get there just before the ritual starts, and he seems to carry bottles with him, an extra load of bottles in a cart.
Okay.
He might have known it was tied up with.
I'll track him. He sounds awfully good.
I'm wondering whether these murders and the rituals are happening somewhere else. You really wouldn't want to do those in public.
They're not doing them in public. They're doing them in their little church.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I don't even know if they're doing it there. I mean, if Flint's bringing bottles, if those bottles are spirit jars, is that the right word?
Spirit bottles, yeah.
Spirit bottles,
yeah.
And those contain the souls.
The souls of these Scovelander babies that he's been basically saying.
Exactly.
I'm
So
killing
he's killing them
he's
somewhere else.
He's the one providing them for these rituals.
So maybe we should be tracking him down rather than before we go after the cult.
Okay. So if this calls for it, that you guys feel it justifies doing another gather information roll, I will entertain that thought. If not, I'm going to try and force you into moving towards something. Go ahead.
Can I just ask a question?
Please.
If we were to let one of these baby souls disappear and let it out, would that cause a caraculus?
So the original ringing of the bell would have happened at the death of the child.
Right.
for that. So no, it would just simply be free to move about.
Okay. So if we let a lot of them out, it wouldn't be obviously noted.
Not particularly, but it might cause some sort of notification. You're not sure.
I mean, having said that, of course, if we take out the whole cult, including Flint, it's going to stop him from murders.
Yeah, it's going to stop him from doing any more murders. It's going to stop the cult from their rituals, and it's going to stop more Scovelander babies being killed off.
We'll go for the jugular then.
So I'm gonna throw off one last tidbit of information from you guys moving around, because I just think I wanted you to have it and you didn't roll a 6. But the cult has been asking around and looking for a book called the Book of the Deep that they would desperately like to get their hands on.
Indeed.
Was it written by Adele?
Right,
So,
well, hey, how about we sell them the information about where it is? Wait for them to steal the book, and then we steal it from them.
And then blow them all to the smithereens.
Yeah.
After stealing the book from them. Yeah. No, could do.
okay. So in some ways, that's turning two different factions that you have issues with against each other. I understand that.
It is. It is. Yep.
So different thoughts. You guys are back on your boat, sitting around, doing the very final ideas.
So we should probably go for the juggler, take the main guy out, but it might be worth trying to take down a lot of the cult as well. So if we spread some misinformation or did something to take them out individually.
I've got to say, I really like the idea of telling them where the book is and then seeing them go get it and then seeing what happens.
Okay. So
I got to say that I think it's very elegant.
So what I'd like to do with that,
think, but that's just my view.
And it's not strictly the way that Blades in the Dark would normally work. What I'd like to do with that is possibly a teeny bit of free play to set that up, to see how this works out. And what I'd like to ask is, how do you go about telling them that you know where this is and are willing to sell it?
Oh well, that's a good question.
So now,
we're interesting to know how
where did you do that? I'm sorry. I see it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it'd be interesting to know how much they would be willing to pay for that information.
Okay, copy on that, Rob.
The thing is, sorry, can you hear me?
Yes.
You can. Okay. No, I was just going to say, if they're putting it about that they're after this book, I mean, we've obviously heard this information. We would approach through the same source, basically. So the person that they have been asking for information, we would, yeah. The thing we can't do, given that this this guy has been trying to frame Mara, is we can't let this Flint know that it's anyone associated with Mara.
Okay.
We can think it's Lord Skurlock.
No, I mean Lord Skirt. No, we that's the information we're selling. That it's Lord Skurlock's that got the book. I mean, they may be on good terms with Lord Skurlock. I don't know, but
got it. So if you see what said it says, he's got the cat said it has been sort of stealthily following around Flint, and so instead of making you do a gather information roll, I'm just going to say that you'll know some more about the movements of Flint as we get into this. Okay. So how do you approach this? I'll give you, actually, let me give you the information on Flint, because it may impact how you decide to go about selling. So Flint has a shop in Night Market. It's ground level, and it's in one of the darker patches of the blocked out sky from these tall buildings. There's a bridge that runs across above his door, even further blocking the very slightest of starlight that might twinkle down to reveal anything. However, the sign above the door says Elena's Midwifery.
That's how he's getting the information about the babies and the children.
And he enters the place, and there are a couple of ladies who work there. And they wave to him, and he sits back behind a desk. And this appears to be his place.
There we go. That's where he's getting the information. That's where he's getting the children from.
Okay. So with that particular horrific thought on your mind, are you going to approach him? Are you going to approach the cult itself? Is there having a meeting, or what? How are you going about with this engagement? To actually, let me see. Let me see how this goes. I'd like to try this, and this may not work. But what I'd like to do is treat this as a score. Okay? And let's see how this plays. It may be a very short one, but I'd like to treat it like a score just to see how the rules function for this. So what I'd like to do is, for this attempt to sell, what I'm going to do is bring up my not the faction game, darn it all. I moved off the spot I wanted. Let me get there. Once in a while, I kick myself because I didn't set up exactly as I wanted ahead of time, and this is one of those times. So I'm asking you guys a question here. So getting them to, or getting this information to them and misleading and getting them to do, is this an assault? Is this where you do violence? Is this deception, where you lure, trick, and manipulate? Is this stealth? Is this a cult? Is this social, where you negotiate, bargain, and persuade? Is this transport, where you carry a cargo and move through danger? I think there's some you can probably knock off the list pretty fast. I think you could probably knock off assault, stealth, transport immediately. But you could argue deception. You could argue stealth, but it's more infiltration. So I'd say you could probably mark stealth off, unless you're planning to sneak in for this, to leave a note or something. There might be something you can do with the occult, and there's also social. So let's see how this plays. What do you guys think is the means for this score?
Yeah, I mean, this deception or social seem like more.
That's right. It's one of those two, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What would if we went for a cult? What would that involve?
You'd have to tell me. You would then have to give me the answer to the detail. What is the arcane method? So with social, the detail is, what's the social connection? With deception, it is, what is the method of deception? So those are the questions I will ask if you choose one of those. So think about that as you make your choice. Felix. No.
I don't bark.
Oh, that's right. It's not said it either. So what do you guys think?
Woof.
That was Rob.
Okay, so I'm pushing because that's sort of how the game's supposed to work, to drive you guys along. I've heard one sort of. Go ahead.
So, I mean, I'm just thinking it's going to be a deception of some sort because A, we don't have the book, but we want to pass it off that. And I think John's already said that, I think. But yeah, I mean, it could be a lot of things. I don't think that if we're trying to encourage them to come out of the dark or come out of the shadows, so to speak, with their book that we know that they're looking for, we're not going to need to be armed and dangerous and smacking the living crap out of people. Okay. So I would say it's more deception than anything else.
So you're going to
Now,
deceive
if
them
we-
in some way.
Yeah. Now, if we're not needing to use Flint to pass said message on, I might have plans for him. I might turn him into my little bitch.
Okay, so
Okay.
we've had a vote there saying that probably said it thinks that this is a thing where we should try and trick them in some way or manipulate them. And
Well, unless we've
that's
actually got the book that they want, of course, in which case then we don't need to deceive them and manipulate them.
No, we
no.
We can hold it up and go.
And the other
want
main
it?
the other main option appears to be social, which is negotiate, bargain, and persuade. So either way, I'm excited to see which one you guys pick. And I'm going to leave it to you.
Does it have to be one?
Yes.
So we can't do deception and manipulation.
Nope.
No.
Right. Okay.
Okay, sorry.
Oh,
Can I
Jesus.
just confirm something? My understanding was that the idea here was that we were going to sell to them the knowledge of where the book is,
Yep.
which is to say in Lord Skurlock's possession.
Yep.
Then we were going to stand back, let them go and get it, and suffer whatever consequences they did as a result of doing that. And then when they got it, we were going to duff them in and nick it off them. Yeah?
That's a three-pronged score then, really, isn't it?
No,
The
it's not.
first
Hang on.
bit is deception.
No. So the first part of the score that we're doing is convincing them, selling them the information. Yeah,
Yep. That's the score.
that's the score. So the score is we're selling them the information. The truth is, we know what the information is, and it's genuine. We're not selling them something that's deception. We might be deceiving them about our motives, and that's where the deception would come in if we're doing deception. But we're either doing deception or social. And in social, personally, I'm starting to think social is probably a bit more where we should be because we are trying to make the connection and sell to those people. We're not actually trying to deceive them.
Yeah, social will just be doing. Social will just be doing a direct deal with them in some form or matter.
That's
Yes.
that's correct.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do, isn't it?
Yes.
If we-
But the thing is
But
that
we don't know where the book is. We don't know where the book is, so how?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yes, we do.
Is it?
we know it's in Lord Sherlock's private library.
Of course. Okay.
So the only question really is how do we get in contact with the cult, persuade them that we know what
Okay.
we're talking about. Get the
So,
money.
what I'd like before you try and answer that with your deep planning skills is this social? Which, in my mind, it leans that way as well because the piece of it you're dealing with right now is the social portion. It is sort of a multi-part deal that you're working at. So you've got multi-part scores, and I talk about that a little bit in the book, where you've got a score that's so big that it's sort of if you break it down to a couple of little scores, this one is the social aspect thereof that will lead to possibly the deception or assault or whatever else, depending on what they do or how they decide to go about it.
So yeah. So should we say we agree on social?
Yep.
I think so.
Okay,
Rob, what do you think?
Rob?
Is Rob typing?
What I think, social, yes, definitely.
Okay, so
Okay, cool.
we've come to consensus, which is nice, because that doesn't always happen in group dynamics. And it's nice that we're playing with a team that we've played with so long that we're not doing all the weird storming, forming, norming crap of a team, which, by the way, for people that are watching, it happens in role-playing games when you put a group of people together to try and solve problems. It's the same thing as if you're trying to lead a group to solve problems in business or anywhere else. So you have decided on social. So my question is, what is the social connection you are using for this score?
So I have a thought, which is if they're actively trying to find this book, they're probably going round various known booksellers,
Okay.
that kind of thing. So if Mara has some contacts there, she basically we could let them know that if anyone asks for the Book of the Deep, that they could point them in the direction of we need to set up an identity, don't we? We need like a house or something which we can create as someone who has the information that they would need. So then basically we put feelers out to say,
Okay.
we have this information and send them our way.
So interesting. So I will ask again.
What about?
Go ahead.
What about just as a quick one, right? So we know that Flint's job is also a midwifery. Surely there's got to be a physio or somebody that goes in, like a proper doctor type. That's also in there. So do we, whilst I've got eyes on Flint with the cat,
Yep.
do I recognise any contacts that may look like? I mean, I'm thinking most doctors or physicians would have like the leather briefcase bag with possibly, I don't know, a horn sticking out of it for looking in ears and shit like that.
So what you do know from watching this midwifery, they do have a decent amount of custom, a lot of it from the lower classes. They come in, they seem to make their case. Flint seems to hand off to one of his midwives. They have their own cases and are physicers of some capability in their own right.
Okay.
And you do know that the big lady, the one that has to breathe deeply and hard when she pushes herself out of her chair and wears sort of a black with lace trimmed muumuu, you have seen huffing and puffing going over that bridge along with Flint. She is also a part of the cult. Okay.
I thought Mumu was this kind of sexy negligee type thing.
No, no, it's not.
It's like it's just a big shapeless dress.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank God for that. So I can Google it.
Yes,
without
you can.
going incognito.
Yes, you can. You can Google
I was
Muumuu.
getting a whole different image of this place.
You don't
in my
need to turn
mind.
safe search on.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
while you guys are
I
rapidly
just get the
Googling,
hints of justified and ancient.
okay. So the question is, what is your social connection? That's all I need. And it seems to be Flint,
Hello.
unless I'm told otherwise. Hey, Felix.
Yeah. Okay. I've got Melissa, who's a priestess. What's she a priestess in?
Ah, Melissa. So we don't know a ton about her because she's only written on your sheet. But I would say she probably works in the Lady of Sorrows church in Brightstone. And we'll get back to her. And that's not canon, even though I said it. Said it. Um, we will discuss her more when we engage her properly. But she is not part of this cult. Okay. So I ask
Okay.
again: is the social connection you're leaning upon Flint?
What do you think, guys? Yeah. I mean, we
Yeah.
could always can pay a coin to an expectant mother who's on her way in, to drop a little nugget of information to him.
I think that's maybe a bit too obvious. I think he's going to be suspicious. Basically, this information that comes to him, he's going to check it. He's going to want to know it's genuine, and he's going to want to know the source. So I think we've got to basically make sure we have cutouts. We have we insulate ourselves from. We make it seem like the source is credible, and not connected to us in any way.
So I love this, and here's go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
Or the flip of that is, I kind of go in and speak to him on behalf of Mara and say, look, you're spreading rumours about Mara that's untrue. We're going to give you a little bit of information. We know where this book is. We've heard that you know people who may want it. Just stop putting the shit on Mara, because the next time we see you, it will be a completely different conversation.
Okay, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop all you guys here. And the reason I'm stopping you is I'm moving you into the score. And this is going to solve itself. And the neat thing is, we've gotten the detail. We're dealing with Flint as sort of your in. And now we're going to your loadout. So let me know what load each of you are carrying into this social encounter. Though some of you may be remaining in the shadows and can have bigger loads. I'm not gonna. Well, yeah, I am gonna ask. I'd like to know what your load is because it might make a difference on how some rolls go. I will ask light. Is anyone going in heavy?
Definitely not.
Okay.
Become very obvious.
So to me, it's immaterial. You guys put down on there if it's light or it's medium. If it's medium, it could draw a little attention depending on what you're doing. But yeah, I'm hearing different loadouts that are popping up on screens, and so just for those that are watching, I'll roll down here and I'll pick Mara's character, and I'll show you where she puts her load. So right here, she has a normal load, as opposed to other folks. So she has a backpack, maybe a weapon that shows. So it's not just a easy social thing. She's a little more ready for bear. All these items that are in this dark gray box, and I forgot to show you, are things that she can just say she has and she can click off. Okay? All these things down below, if she decides she has them during the encounter, they count against this number up here. So if she says she's got a pistol, she clicks off and she now only has 4 left. If she says, oh, I needed burglary gear, boom, now she's down to 2. Oh, I'd love to have some forged documents. There's the documents. So you see how how this works is during the game itself, they choose what they've got. It sort of makes it really streamlined and exciting. Okay, so we have gotten their loadouts, and we are to the engagement roll. So I have some questions to ask. You provided the detail, which is your social connection, which is Flint, who is a down arrow social contact of Mara's. Okay. So you get 1d6 for sheer luck. But now we need to modify this roll based on other things. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? You can argue that. I didn't hear a lot of joy for arguing.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I think it is because we're trying to implicate somebody who's a badass.
Okay. So your argument
I
is
think it is bold and daring.
that by trying to set these two particular factions against each other, you think that the danger and risk thereof of blowback makes it daring. I will accept that and give you another die. Okay. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? You guys, I'm not going to make you argue that. What I say is, this is the particular vulnerability of the target, is they want a particular item.
Yeah. We're not trying to sell them something that they're not sure they need.
Nope.
They actively are looking for it.
You have gone after the one thing that they're looking for, and so that gives you that extra die. So we're up to 3 dice. So can any of your friends or contacts provide insight for your operation? I'm not seeing that immediately, but feel free to say what you'd like.
I agree.
We could
do go to a third party if we go through a bookseller or an occult group.
Do you have any of those?
I don't. Mara, you've got. Say who was your.
Would Melissa the priestess know anything about a different cult?
There we go.
Not as much.
Reconciled.
But theology, the study of your own.
She's just.
You might have some insight into the cult.
So I count Sally as one of your friends, by the way, Mara. I'm sorry, I'll get back to you, Felix, because I heard the background discussion. So in Mara's thing here, you see the little plus sign? You can put in Salia in there if you would like, as Salia reconciled as one of yours, that it's an up arrow that you have gathered through your experiences. So Felix, you were saying the particular priestess.
Yeah, I know she's a different.
So here, okay, well, the game provides a great solution for this. Give me a luck roll, and we'll see if she knows anything about this cult. And we're going to make it a simple 1 through 3. No, she doesn't. And above that, she might know something.
Okay, so it's just the dice.
Yep.
D6.
Yep. Nope. No, she when you asked her in passing, she's like, yeah, there's a lot of cults for weird things going on in Night Market. She says, I have no idea. But if I hear of anything, I'll let you know. There you go. So we are to, you got the 1 die for luck. You have the 1 die for daring. You have 1 die for exposing a vulnerability. Are there any other elements that you want to talk to me about? So this organization has 20 to 30 some people, so they're about a tier 1 organization. So they're slightly higher than you, but I'm not going to take a die away from that because they're a loosely organized, not very powerful organization. So I will say that unless told otherwise, we have 3 dice. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's rolling? Felix?
No, I'm not on some bad luck at the moment.
At the moment.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
busy with chasing a priestess for absolutely no reason at all.
I'll.
My rolls are always pretty crappy, but I'm happy to roll if you want me to.
Yeah. Or I'll
So
do
we've
it.
had John roll recently. We've had Rob, didn't you roll recently?
Not this month.
Okay, not this month. So I don't care. You guys tell me who's gonna make this roll. I can't wait to see this. 3 dice.
Go on then.
Somebody
I'll
can do it.
I'll do it.
Go for it, Pete.
Here we go.
Use the yellow set.
Oh, Lord, that's wonderful. Okay, now I'd like to know how you have set yourself up location-wise around to make this happen, because you're going to get some great benefit. Is this the first time you've gone into a score that you're not desperate? This is amazing.
No.
Right. I think what we need to do is now this Lord Skurlock, where
He lives
I
in
think-
White Crown.
he lives in White Crown. Okay, so but his servants wouldn't live in White Crown. They would live somewhere else, wouldn't they?
Ah, okay.
Probably.
He actually has a decent amount of Scovelanders who are indentured to him.
Okay, and where would they live?
Probably Coleridge.
Excellent. So what we do is we need to set up.
So I think you're thinking too much. I think we know the social person that we need to talk to.
Yeah.
We know the location of the cult. We know a bit about where you want him to go. Got that. I think some of what you're trying to do there is maybe more gather information from before, or I think that the engagement now is with your target.
Yeah. So I was thinking we rent an apartment in Coleridge.
Okay.
Either rent an apartment or we just find an empty apartment we can use temporarily.
Yeah, use an empty one. Yep.
Is this the one where Felix plays like he's pregnant, and then you guys call for the midwife? I am joking, by the way. I am joking.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Basically, set someone up so that they look like a servant who has heard that goes to basically this
Okay.
This guy says they've heard he's looking for information because they work there. They happen to be, cleaning in the library and saw this book open on the desk or something.
Okay. Well, so you're not going to get any money out of this. You're not selling this
No.
information?
Well,
no.
So basically, that's the end story that they will tell when the money comes forward. But
Okay.
yeah.
So
first
I
off,
like
they're going to say that they've heard they're after the book and they might know something.
okay. So the role that I want made is to convince this person to go give this information to this to whoever.
Oh no, I think it's going to be one of us.
Oh, one of you's going. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So
This
who is going to and where are you going?
Definitely not me.
Okay.
No, can't really be you. It can't be the brute because he's very
Yep. Okay.
So leaves one of the other three of us. Any volunteers? Who's good at social stuff, deception, etc.?
That's the last thing I'm good at. I could take the building down. We could just do mass murder on the entire cult.
I have 1 point in sway.
Then,
I've got that.
Then you're going it. I
I've
think that's 1 point more than myself and Felix.
Okay.
I've got one in sway.
Okay.
That's the only one I've got.
You've got a point in sway, have you?
Yeah, that's the only one I've got under resolve.
So you guys are around in Night Market, the midwifery. Elena's midwifery, and who is approaching and how?
Okay. Well,
So,
do you
Pete,
mind if I do it?
you tend to take a lot of the burden on your shoulders. Is there, before you say that and take it, is there anyone else that's got a desire to do this? Because Pete does get a good portion of this, largely because you guys stay quiet. Does anyone have a vested interest to make this entrance and social besides Pete?
So I'm out. I can't.
Okay, so Pete, I
Well,
gave
no,
I
okay,
gave them
well,
all I gave them all a
be-
chance.
hang on.
And
Before we do this, the other one is I think that Rob's idea was quite a good one, which is go rather than do that, we go in and basically trade off and say, instead of coin, back off. We know you're after this book. If you back off, we can tell you where it is.
okay,
You've already
so
done the damage.
who? Here's my question again.
Yeah.
Who's going in?
I can go in for either option. I'll use
So what?
consort if it's option A, and I will just
So here's my thought,
I'll just
and,
pull
and
my
I'm gonna
knife off
I
option
will
B.
I will throw this out here, is because there is going to be a roll involved. I think that you probably should take two people so there is a help piece. Okay, and that's just a mechanics thing. And right now, it sounds like it's probably Twitch and Set It. Though I don't know if Feline Set It should go in. That's up to you guys if you want to play that.
No, Feline said it's staying out of the way because I need her to stay in the shadows. So she's out of this. I don't want her seen.
So to push this along rapidly, the two of you are standing in front of the door. There's a light on inside. There's a young lady who is obviously quite pregnant, and she is standing alone, looking a little forlorn in front of one of the desks. So as you open the door, there is a L shape of desks. There are three ladies behind those desks, and then even further back in the corner of the room is a big desk with leather covering and brass studs, and behind that is this dude. He probably has a limp and he's swarthy and so he's back behind there, and he is sort of spinning a coin on his knuckles and looking bored. You open the door, and there's a tinkle of a bell, and there is now a short, twitchy young man and a very good-looking Taikarosi who have walked in together into this building. The fat lady, who you have seen huffing and puffing going up to the cult, waves you two forward.
Move forward.
Okay, so Twitch is dressed in a big coat. He's got the collar turned up, and he's looking around. You know, he's looking like he really doesn't want to be noticed.
Do either of the two of you have more than a light load?
No, I don't.
Is that it?
No, I've got a light load.
Okay, very good.
I just haven't clicked it yet.
So you step up to the desk, and the lady says, in a voice that you can tell she has spent what money she gets on that tobacco, and she has got a rough voice. Hey, how may I help you? Are you the happy woman?
I need need to talk to Flint. I think is this the name?
There's no Flint here.
Boss man, the back there.
Him? Roger? Okay. Her chair is a swivel type, and it squeaks ominously as she turns. Roger. And he looks like he didn't recognize that immediately, and then she goes, Roger, and he looks up. He says, yes? And she says, this couple wants to talk to you. He stands up.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead. No.
No, I was just going to say that whilst Twitch was announcing us to Lady Time there, I was going to just have a quiet chit chat with one of the engaged ladies that's waiting to be seen. You know, just like how far along things like that, like lady kind of talk about pregnancies, and then when I see Roger gets up, I then go, oh, okay, well, wish you luck, and then I come back to Twitch.
Okay.
And then whilst we're waiting for Roger to come on over, I'll say, well, the patrons here seem to think that it's very good midwifery, so you know.
So this Roger, by description, I mean it is Flint, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It is. They may not know him by Flint. That may be his criminal call sign. It may be whatever, but they're calling him Roger for whatever reason.
Okay. I'm going to head over.
Okay, so you can't get around the desk, but he walks up to the desk and stands behind her. Says, what do you want? She didn't look that pregnant. I mean, a little bit. I mean, around the hips and all.
Thank you, Sugar.
I heard you was after some information.
Oh, wait. Whoa. Excuse me.
So we would like to talk to you.
Yes. Come around. And he walks to the end of the long desk and flips up a portion so that you can walk through and get behind.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Follow around. Yeah.
So you guide around, and he sits at his desk. There are no chairs in front of it. Unfortunately, that leaves you both standing. He says, and then he says, just keep your voices down. What is it you want?
Well, now, sweetie, I think you need to listen to my friend.
What?
I think you need to listen very carefully.
You're not pregnant.
No, but I am carrying something.
His eyes narrow, and you see his hand reaches under the desk.
We have an acquaintance.
Okay.
And my friend here would like to see there's something that can be done that would benefit both our acquaintance and your group.
Group. His hand remains under the desk. You think it's probably on a scatter gun or something that's under there. And he says, speak your piece.
So
as we go into this,
words got around that you lot is looking for a book. Is that right?
Stop. And he looks around carefully. He says, don't say the name or anything. Just, what do you know? Well,
that information is dangerous and it's going to cost you.
I knew this was going to happen. And he leans back in his desk, and you can see he's thinking. And during that thinking, and this is really ugly to do to everybody, I'm going to pause because I have to go to the restroom, and then we will come back and see what exactly you say.
Okay.
Sorry about that. Here we go. And I would put you over here on out, but there we go. Goodness gracious. I've had to move all my computer around for everything. Here we go. And There. He has leaned back in his chair, and he looks
It
at
does
you
look a bit like
a little
tinkering.
suspiciously. And what's happening now, and this is one of the brutal things about this game, is we're moving to a single roll that is going to determine how this moves forward.
Don't get me to do it then.
And so what I'm wanting is you guys to make your pitch and also determine in that what skill you're using to make this pitch. And it's got to be believed. You're trying to convince him that this is knowledge you know, and you're trying to convince him to spend the money.
Mhm.
So let's think about this.
Okay, so right, so
Okay.
this the word's got around that you're looking for this book.
Yep.
And this info's legit, right?
Is this and he's looking around a deep book?
It is.
His eyes light up.
So this gent, that's what I know. He works for this powerful man,
Ah.
and he knowing that possibly the word went round that this book was being sought. This is the sort of man that might have it.
Ah.
He maybe had a wander through his private library and might
Private library. He writes down on
have
his notebook.
seen it.
Seen it. Did he describe the cover?
He did not. He didn't have time.
Mm.
You know, it's just in passing.
So what are you asking to tell me whose library this is in?
Yeah, that's it.
How much?
It's got to be worth a coin.
Cool, few.
Ah, a coin. He seems relieved. Says, "Oh, well, yes, we might be able to afford that." Says, "But you don't know which dark powers you possibly are dealing with. It could be dangerous. Is there a way that you could slip down into the silvers here or there?"
That don't. You know, this is a straightforward transaction, right? You rub my hand, I rub yours, and then we part ways and we never see each other again.
All right. I call for a roll. Here is a roll to see if he offers you the money for the information.
Okay. So I think it's got to be a sway roll.
Okay, Rob, what are you doing to help?
I'm going to sit on the corner of his desk and unbutton my blouse somewhat.
Fair enough. So I can see it in my head as you sort of push back some of the papers on the corner of his desk so that there's room for the ample derriere to go on there, and you can see that his eyes do rove as you would expect, because you've learned to expect that.
Yeah.
And Pete gets an extra die.
Okay. I'm going to push myself as well.
Well done. 2 stress.
Takes 2 stress. So, what's the position?
It's controlled. There's not risk here, aside from him just saying no and walking away. And it's going to be standard in that if you do it, you do it, and he'll put the money out and get the information.
Okay. Everyone cross their fingers.
I trust you.
5. So he says okay, and reaches into a drawer and pulls out a sack that is a coin worth of the silver pennies around here. And he says, but, and this is where you know the 5 came in. Anything we learn from this, we want one of your group with us.
What do you mean?
We want help. You seem like a competent group. And he's holding the coin on his side.
Well, I'll tell you what, coin for the information. And it's going to cost you extra if you want us to help.
I need a particular.
Otherwise, what's to stop you just taking the information and not paying us the coin, and then you go off and do your own thing? You think I was born yesterday?
I like it. And he opens his hands wide. There's lots born around here every day. Ha ha ha. And you recognize the quote from some circus magnate. But anyway.
Well, this being a midwifery, I'd expect it.
Yes. He says, so is that by the way, I'm going to just pause in our role. Is that not something is this in common knowledge of our British friends?
Oh yeah, one born every minute. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, Barnum. Yeah. Okay, so that translated across the pond, so to speak.
It did.
Okay,
yeah.
So once in a while I'll make a reference that's stupid that doesn't quite go across, but this one did. So he's pushing for this extra help because of that 5 on the roll. He says, I'd like a guarantee that what you give me, because I don't know what it is, you could be giving me crap. You could be giving me the book is buried in the cellars of the Tower of the White Crown. And that won't give me a damn thing because I can't get it. I reserve first option of hiring you to get the book. And I'll require the name of your outfit, and I'll spit on my palm for that.
You know what? And Twitch holds up a bit of folded paper between 2 fingers, he says.
Okay.
When you see this, you'll understand why we don't want to touch that.
Oh, he looks at the paper apprehensively. What do you do with it?
Okay. Coin for this. That's it. That's the end of the deal. Take it or don't take it, but we're not touching it after this.
Okay. Sadly, I'm going to require another roll because this is, I mean, the bones are here. It's all about, you don't want to be a part of it. You want to make it him just give money for information that could be possibly worthless.
Yeah, but it's a gamble.
Okay. Can I have literally 30 seconds with Pete before we make this roll?
How?
Okay.
Oh, no, I mean, out of character. Out of character.
Yeah, out of character.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so Pete, what I'm thinking is we've got him interested. You can get the 1 coin, okay, for the info and what have you. Maybe now we go to maybe switch it to plan B, and we say, right, okay, keep the coin, but our associate wants this instead, and we'll give you the information because we don't really want to get involved with this dude, do we?
Yeah, but as Christine said, the thing is, you know, what we're asking him to back off, but the problem is that he's already smirched her reputation anyway, so him backing off actually not a huge benefit to us.
Right.
It does not benefit us at all.
In that case, let's up the ante. Let's do the score. Okay, but it's going to
That's only
cost.
getting us in trouble. We want to get him in trouble.
Exactly. That's the thing.
We're not getting him in trouble if we're doing the score.
We want him to do the score, and then we're going to rob him.
No.
I wish you guys could see my. I wish you could have seen my video as I
Right.
laughed
Right.
hysterically.
Right. So
Ain't
what
no
we
point.
do
We're doing the score ourselves.
essentially, we give him an outlandish coin cost for us to get involved, and then we don't.
No, but the problem is we've got to give him contact information. He wants to know the name of our group. So,
Hey, I don't even know the name of our group because we haven't decided on one yet. So
Oh, well,
that's
well,
gonna
maybe
be almost impossible.
Well, maybe Twitch is going to decide on his own. Okay, so
Mugsy's Marauders.
I mean,
Mugsy's Muggers.
it translates amongst various universes as it should. Okay, so
Okay.
you guys have had a little sidebar, and we're moving towards a roll. Is there anything you want to add in this conversation before we move into this roll to get him to accept this freaking deal?
Yeah, but listen, I understand where you're coming from. We just walked in here saying we got this information. It's a gamble, right? But then, that's why we're only asking a coin. Because if we could guarantee this for you with all these, how much you want this, you'd be paying a lot more.
He narrows his eyes at that. What do you know of what we want? What do you know of who we are?
We know that there's a few people putting out that they want this. We don't know who you are, but we know there's a few of you around.
Okay, let's make a roll.
You can't be short of a bob. You're running this place.
Okay, so I'm ready for a roll.
Okay, another sway roll.
So Rob, can you do anything different, extra, anything? I mean, you've already done the stun. So is there anything else?
The only other thing that I've got in my arsenal of tricks that I can pull out that will aid Twitch in any way, shape, or form is to stick a knife right between the guy's eyes. I'm not going to do that. So I'm not going to do that here, now, yet. Okay. But
is there anything you can add?
Nurgle doesn't like him. Nurgle's got a thing that I want this guy. I'm racking my brains as to have I got anything else that I've got that would actually help enforce what Twitch has already said. And I'm coming up short, but this is going against the grain because Nurgle will help because I think that he's doing something underhanded with the Scoveland babies that are actually coming in through this midwifery. And that goes against Nurgle's beliefs.
So not to get out of my job as the game master here, I would say that if you were to suddenly pound your fists on the desk and emphasize what's being said in some way, shape, or form, I'd love to hear what's said, that there might be a die.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to pull out a knife and I'm going to start getting in under my nails with the knife. And I'm going to not lean forward, but kind of tilt my upper body. So basically, I'm going to put my lamps straight into his eye sockets. Okay, he can't miss my breasts. Okay? And I'm going to be cleaning my nails, and I'm just going to say, "Look, sweetie, My partner here has already told you that we don't actually want any part after giving you the information. We're risking so much because when you see who's actually got the book, and this is legitimate, and we paid good coin to confirm that it's legit, we're only asking one coin from you. You will understand what my colleague has just told you. But at least you'll know where it is, how you get it. And I finish with my nails and I twizzle like he did with his coin.
Ah,
I twizzle my knife through my fingers
nice.
and I say, what you do with that information, quite honestly, is down to you and yours, my sweet. We,
Well done.
after have done the purchase and transacted, we're out of here and you will never see us again.
I love it. We never dealt with the issue of trying to threaten him off of the Mara issue. However, you get an extra die, Twitch. Well done.
Oh,
Right. I'm gonna take some more stress. I'm gonna
Well
push
done.
myself.
can I take some stress to give him an extra die on top as well?
No, you may not. That's sad.
Okay, worth a go.
Risky and standard. Risky and
So what I'm going to say is it's risky because if you fail this, he's going to back out of this.
Okay.
And then it's standard because if you succeed, he'll give you the money and get the information.
Okay.
But we don't know if he'll do with it. Okay. So he says, got it. I hear you both. And his eyes spend a little longer time gazing down said it as he says, I get all of the messages you're sending me. He says, I'm not authorized a lot. He says, but here's what I'm going to say. And he pulls the bag towards himself. There's someone else you need to talk to. And he's looking for you.
It's a one-time deal, mate.
Look, there's probably more that you could get out of this, but I personally can't make this call. So I can't give you this one coin. But if you'll come with me tonight at the setting of the shattered sun, there's someone you can talk to who can answer your question. I don't know why you didn't roll a 6, Twitch. I mean, damn it. This could be it over.
It's not happening. So,
Okay. Can I have?
No, it is.
We could ask
Wait.
for a flashback.
It is a. Damn it. So I'm trying to figure out. It is a success in that they want to give you the information. They want to give everything. They want to. He wants to, but the 5 makes it go where he needs someone to say okay. Okay.
So we've got a different time event, yeah.
Okay.
And you're probably going to need to throw another sway. So I can be present then because I've got one. I've got one dot in sway.
Okay. So he says.
You want me? Yeah. Okay. So Twitch says, I'm not following you to where you want to go. If you want me to meet someone else, it's going to have to be on neutral ground.
Okay. He actually leans forward in his chair now, and he shudders away from the knife that said it has, and then he says, "What do you mean?"
Okay, at this point, is there any chance that I could have a flashback? It's more not
Absolutely.
necessarily a flashback per se. It's more to ask you some questions about what we know of the cult.
So,
Okay, so it's kind of a flashback, but it's
nope.
not really. It is.
So Rob, I'm going to stop you there. You know everything about the cult that I've told you already. That's it. You're not going to get anything
But
more
what
out
I
of me.
can't remember.
However, if you want to do a flashback to gather other information, you may. I love the look on your avatar's face as she's trying to figure out what the hell to do.
Yeah, I think it's the most sensible thing, because ideally we need, I mean, from a player's point of view, we need that 6 to make this stop now, and we pass over, and then we can walk away.
It's just using up all my stress. That's the problem.
Exactly.
I can't.
Exactly. Right. Okay.
Burn that stress. Burn that.
Yeah.
Okay, no. So what are you saying, Said It? What are you trying to do in the past?
Right. What I want to do in the past, okay, is I want to learn as much as possible in a very short space of time the hierarchy of the cult, and are they directly linked with the demon? Now I know that there was something connected to a demon,
so
but I might have misheard. So
this
I
is
basically want to clarify what I think I've heard.
This is a dangerous flashback in that I'm going to require a roll.
Okay.
And so what's going to happen is between Feline Said It's following and you putting together and synthesizing all the pieces and parts from your team as they were gathering information. This is pardon the intel speak, this is an all-source piece. As you're trying to gather all those pieces and put them together to learn something extra. So,
yeah,
you are trying to learn what?
Basically, who's the top man at the top of this particular clan that this Roger Flint is a part of, and if we are aware of who this guy is he malicious? Is he somebody that not to be toiled?
You're getting way out of my first questions. I just want a question. And so your question is you're trying to figure out who's in charge. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in the flashback.
Yeah.
And you are just poking, prodding amongst the underlife of this area. And let's make the roll. What is it?
Well, it'll be Hunt because he's gathering information.
Okay. And is there anything you can add to
that?
You push it for some stress.
There's that.
Yeah, I'll take 2 stress.
Very good.
Okay.
Well, way to go, Christine. There's the 6 we wanted. Wonderful. So what I'll do, and it's in my penchant for trying to keep things tied slightly together. There's a interesting thing going on in that the main benefactor for this cult, and you rolled a 6, so you get a ridiculous amount of information. And when I give you the information, you're not going to say it's ridiculous, but it is ridiculous.
Okay.
The
so I'm poised in my pen.
The main benefactor of this cult, for whatever reason, maybe building the power of this demon to use later with a ritual, maybe to build a information network to do stuff. You don't know why, but a certain Lady Kellis has given the funds to make all of this happen. Okay. Does that resonate with you?
It does, because I recognise the name. The only thing is I can't remember the fuck.
Lady Rosalind Kellis.
Rosalind Kelly. Yes. And she is Moron's mother, isn't she?
Yeah. Well, she's involved in the spark trade. Yeah, so there's a lot of things going on.
Okay. Okay. So, in my flash, am I entitled to, in my flashback back at the boat of telling Twitch and everybody what I've uncovered, is it plausible that we can go, look, if it goes deep and he wants to do this, we can go, you had your chance, we're walking, and then we reapproach her directly?
Absolutely.
Because we got to weigh in with the brute, haven't we?
You rolled a 6. Absolutely.
Okay. So, out of the flashback, and I use my knife, put it back in the sheath. I get up and I put my hand on Twitch and I go, Winnie, let's pocket the information. Roger, you had your chance. You're going to have to deal with the boss man. I'm pretty certain they're not going to be pleased when you tell them that you had a chance of getting this information for 1 coin.
You know what, darling? You're right. We're out here. This guy's a piker.
He is. He's an absolute piece of shit. And I so sexually saunter out of that room, and I look at the big girl, and I go, you know what, sweetheart, you're better than him. Okay, just stick some lippy on, show a bit of cleavage, and I tell you what, even I'd do you. And I walk out the door.
And anyway, so I'm struggling to find out in my mind whether it's a successful or unsuccessful heist.
There you go.
The thing is, we rolled 2 successes.
Yeah, you did, and the 6 was phenomenal. And we moved to a almost separate event, and the information has not been passed. And I think the goal of the heist was to pass the information and move things on.
It was.
But we haven't finished.
It was a straightforward transaction that he just
didn't go straightforward.
He just kept on adding conditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though we rolled 2 successes. And we want this, and we want that.
Sorry.
So
the heist is going to play along like this. Okay, this is the way that, in my mind, Nurgle sees that this is going to go down. We've got so much that we can go yes to, and there's an awful lot that we're going to say no to. And all that he's doing is requesting the no's. So, knowing full well that Lady Kellis is the Supremo, okay, we're going to go back with Brute. Okay.
Yep.
I think Twitch and Brute should go and see Lady Kellis, and we basically drop Roger Flint in this shit by going, he dicked us about. We've done you a solid in the past. We want you to do us a solid. This is worth more than 1 coin. We want 1 coin for this information. You want the book. This is where it is. We want no part of it. And we redo the whole RP back with her because we didn't get any further with Flint.
Okay.
Good idea.
So
that's good.
With
the heist is still on.
Fair enough.
We're just at a stalemate at this moment.
Fair enough. And what I'll say with this, and this has been fascinating to watch. So we're at 10. I'm willing to dork around for another 20 to 30 minutes tops. And I will say now, if we want to come back to this, it's going to be 2 weeks from now, sadly. But
Let's do it in 20 minutes. We can do it in 20 minutes. I'm
okay.
certain.
Off you
Okay.
go.
Well,
Okay.
Basically,
I'm not
Brute
the
is
best
somewhere
person to
localish.
go to this next one because I have.
I'll go with the Brute then.
Yeah,
Okay.
No, the brute.
I've got no stress left to
No worries.
use.
Brute is definitely the person to go.
I'll go with Brute, okay?
Okay.
And I'll take the note that Twitch has got all the bits on and what have you, because
Gotcha.
I was there originally, so it had to be either myself or Pete, okay?
Got it.
So we'll do that. Hopefully John's somewhere local that can hear what's going on. We meet up, we go over to where Lady Kellis normally is at this time of day,
Yeah.
normally at home.
No. So what I'll say.
The Brute, do we knock on the door or do we go up the gutter like you did last time?
So what I want to do to add to the tension of the situation is Wrecker's with you.
Okay.
Because as you made your way through, you're doing what you're doing. Wrecker's there, and he was already working a plan in his head to demolish that entire tower and drop those guys into the canals. But because you're moving,
rather than do that, I'll come along and use my sway in a more threatening way.
Very good. So the three of you are at the residence of Lady Kellis, and I think it's Brightstone.
It is.
Okay.
We've been dicked about, and we just need to get some answers to this.
Yep. So you are standing outside of a 3-story stone building that has a main large arched doorway onto a broad street. Okay.
So
thump, thump,
thump,
thump, thump,
ring the
thump,
doorbell.
thump. Door opens. There's a Scovelander in a sort of uniform who says, "How may I help you?" And she does a little slight bow.
Hello, I'm here to speak to the lady of the house, Lady Kellis, if she can see us. It's a gentleman that helped her with a previous problem and his two friends.
I want to luck. I want a luck roll.
Okay.
And I'll tell you.
Fuck.
What was that?
Yeah. Take the first one, which is the 4. I don't know why I picked 2.
No. You roll again. Give me one die.
One die. Right, I'm not clicking on 3 this time.
Okay.
There you go.
She
Take
says.
the 4.
She says. She says. Lady Kellis is in.
Is there any chance we can be able to speak, please?
She's fairly engaged.
It is quite urgent and very important, and I think that when she understands that it's with reference to a book that a acquaintance of hers is looking for about deep things, she might be very interested. We don't mind waiting for your response.
Okay. So she takes off, and I'm going to say roll me 2d6 on how many minutes you're waiting before you hear something back. That's not bad. So about 10 minutes later, she comes down and she says, the book name you said, follow me.
So thank you.
The three of you...
Brute kind of stoops down and goes through the door.
So the three of you head down a long corridor, and there are doors on each side that are locked or shut or whatever, but there's one that's open on the left, which is, you think, towards the front of the building as far as the street. And you're correct. As you walk into the room, it's a gallery that runs the length of the building that has windows over the... you didn't even realize you had gone up a level, but you're on the second floor now. Excuse me, the first floor, UK, ground floor, blah, blah, blah. So you're on the first floor, and you're and you can see the street below, and there's a gallery of windows, and there's actually a wet bar at the far end. And there's a Skovlander behind the bar who is mixing drinks, and at a round table midway down this are two people.
Okay.
And she brings the three of you in, and there are not seats on the other side of the table.
That's fine. So who's the other person?
Lord Delvar.
This might take longer than 20 minutes. Okay.
What? You guys can't see this coming? Come on, it's all tied together.
Of course we can. Of course we can.
So,
okay. Okay.
I'm not that good of a
Hello, Lady
writer.
Alice.
So
Hello,
no.
Lady
She holds her hand up, and then she beckons, and there's a Skovlander waitress comes over, and she says, "Drinks?"
I'm fine. I don't partake in that. Thank you.
"Drinks?" she says to the others in the group.
Only in my downtime.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's going to get a lot worse.
Actually,
And I think
no, stop. Felix, make me a complete luck roll if you could turn this down.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3, you're going to ask for that drink.
Hey.
Look at you
Nice
with
one.
iron will. Okay, so all of you turn down the drinks, which is a little bit rude, but not quite. And she says, "How may I help you?"
Okay. Am I okay to speak frankly and freely in front of the Lord, the lady?
You say that?
I do. I ask permission to speak frankly and freely.
So I will be frank and free with you, she says.
Excellent.
I know
So
you are here for something to do with a book. Yes. I know that my friend here is interested as well. I know that you stand on a knife edge between destruction and profit.
Okay. So we've come to you because our friend Brute, who you know, you've already met with.
How do I know this? How do I know this Brute?
He spoke to you with reference to your son.
What?
This is the right lady, isn't it? The Brute had a cup of tea with.
Brute?
He's not on Skype. He is on Skype, but I think he's having problems with Skype.
So
no, this is not the right person. A completely different person.
I knew it. Okay.
When we said about the spark, you said yeah. So, okay. No, not you. Anthony said yes. No, Anthony said yes.
No.
No. There was this young Turk who was basically messing with my sister, and I went and spoke to his mother because the family would then potentially help us in the future. No, this is not the same person. This is a completely different person.
Right.
Wonderful.
So we're going to have a flashback to the start of this conversation, I think.
No. We can wing it because we've only got 14 minutes, okay?
I thought
you got time.
Flint was a car crash.
Right.
So no.
That's why I said about the Brute coming, because I did ask. This is the same lady about the spark that the Brute went to see, and I got told yes. So
was that me?
Why
Did I do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Watch the stream back and you'll see where my confusions come from. But it's fine. We'll wing it.
No.
This is what role play's all about. Right, okay. No, sorry. Different lady, not as glamorous as you.
So,
if
you'll stop for a second, I'll give you. We know that Rosalind Karras she hired smugglers and is supplying the lamp blacks. We know that she is involved with Delvar and some sort of a love triangle and other weirdness. We know. I'm trying to bring up all my notes as I'm pulling through for her. But yeah,
we've got no real ties.
Sorry, just one more thing I want to say. I think it's really, really important you don't mention my name in front of Lord Delvar.
So Roderick Maine.
You're in the room. So we'll need to go back and do a flashback, which we haven't.
I'm not in the room.
You are.
No, I'm not. I'm definitely not with you. Not under any circumstances.
No.
Then Anthony's well and truly
definitely,
No.
100% not there.
Wow. Everything's crashing into a great train wreck of awesomeness.
No, I am not there. I have never been there at any point throughout the entire evening.
Nice.
I'm not there.
I love it.
There's no way I would have gone into Kelly's house. There's no way.
So
no way. I've never been there at any point. You guys have assumed that, but I've never said it.
Those of you.
No way. I'm not there.
Those,
okay.
So
that's the way it gets all murdered. That is, guys.
So bottom line, those of you who are watching online, this is how you game master a game. You can't get any better than this because obviously I've done everything you could possibly do to make this work. I'm looking at the downtime number 1, and I'm looking for Kellis, and I'm trying to remember exactly where she fit into everything.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. For the sake of the last 11 minutes,
absolutely,
that we can go to.
Absolutely.
John's not there. The Brute's not there. We haven't said to her yet that you already know our esteemed colleague. It's just myself and Rekka. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And she says, "What can we do for you?"
Yes.
And I say, well, Lady Callis, as you've permitted us to speak frankly and freely, you're after a certain book. We know where it is. We went to a chap in the midwifery office who we thought we would pass on the information. But we would like to give it to you instead. We asked for 1 coin and no part else afterwards. For that 1 coin, it would tell you exactly where the book is, who's got it, and in which library. Okay?
Hello?
But for yourselves, we're not after a coin. We want to pass this information freely. What you then do with it is entirely up to you.
And if you think it's worth it, then you can give us a coin.
So
there's always that option.
If you look at the
text, I'm going to help him sway.
Fair enough. If you look at the, I put the information in our Roll20 chat.
That's what I remember.
Lady Rosalind Kellis is involved with the breakout of the spy Valeris, imprisoned by Lord Delvar's mansion. The noble Roderick Maine is a person who is caught by Twitch in flagrant delicto with Lady Rosalind Kellis. Lord Delvar is also quite smitten with Lady Rosalind and a rival for her attention. Okay? So we're in a bit of a love triangle between Delvar and Roderick Maine. And she is here visiting Lord Delvar, and you pulled them away from their assignation. Okay. So the dice fall where they may. Let us see what you do.
Okay. So, what do you want me to roll? Consort?
I don't want you to roll anything. You tell me. That's the joy of this game.
Well, that's the honestly, that's the only thing that I can think of based on the description of the trait.
Fair enough. Okay. So, is
Okay.
there anyone with you who can give you an extra die?
Yes. Rekka can give me an extra die using his sway.
Okay.
Which by definition is some charm, logic, deception, etc. So we're going to try and charm or manipulate the situation.
So make your roll, but also make your talk at the same time.
Okay.
So
I'm also going to take 2 stress.
Oh, well done. Get an extra die. And
So,
Ricker, I'd love to hear, what is your addition to this conversation that gives them the extra die?
I'm just going to use my sway. I don't know if I can't take extra stress as well, can I?
No, you may not, but what do you say is part of the sway? That's what I want to know.
I'm going to manipulate her into believing the whole thing's true, because I haven't met her before, have I?
Okay, no, you have not.
So I'm just like to them. I haven't been talked about much either, so I'm like a third party.
Yep.
And so I'm just gonna.
So she looks at you under hooded eyes that are highly cold. So they've got the dark on the eyelid, and dark streaks running up on either side, which is a little bit disconcerting. And she looks up under those eyelids at you, and you say,
and I say, you need to believe this, chap, because if you don't, then we're off. But it's up to you. If you wanna pay us for it, you can. And if you don't, then don't pay us for it. I think once you've seen the information, you'll want to pay us for it anyway.
So that's a reach to give you extra die, but I'll give it to you. Let's do it.
I'm using just persuasion. It's nothing.
Well, it's not you.
Okay.
I mean, you're adding a die.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Right. So as I make the roll, I kind of lean in, ready with the piece of paper. Ready for this?
Yep.
I'll make the roll first.
Oh!
And I lean in and I say subtly to her, we've come to, as I said, we've come to you because we believe that you're a major patron for a certain church that will find this information very useful. And that we approached, who we know is part of, but we're hoping this is a lot more smoother. Like I said, we only asked 1 coin. If you choose not to pay us, that's fine. But I think that this is worth more than 1 coin. So,
okay. So do
have
you
a look, and
so
I leave the bit of paper right next to her fingertips.
So Rob, I'm going to give you a luck roll to see if you say that it's only worth 1 coin. If not, you can retract that.
In all honesty, I think it's worth more than 1 coin.
Okay. No, I'll say no. I'll give it to you. It's worth more than 1 coin.
Yes, I think it is, but you know.
Okay. So now make your roll to persuade this lady. Right? Or did we already do anything?
We did that.
I've already done that. That's
you've already did. That's a 6. That's a okay.
Yeah,
so
this
she
is
will give you. So
oh.
ask me the amount you think is allowed.
6.
No. I mean, what is the ask?
6 coins sounds reasonable. That's what I think.
So she says, how did you get this information? And she pulls out sacks of coin.
Okay, so whilst I'm thinking in my head and seeing the coin and my eyes bulging and thinking,
Oh, yeah.
oh man. I say to her, we came across the information because we learned that church you're a patron of was after.
Yes, those fools. Because
Okay.
look,
Yeah, they don't keep their mouths shut whilst they're out on the street. So you know, if you have any sway with them, you might want to and tell them to do a better job.
look. I mean,
I
I
think the
would love.
information worth at least 10 coins, but I'm not asking for that because we don't run.
Because look,
You know,
those fools might or might not eventually bring me the capability to bind a very powerful demon. And if they do, that's awesome. And I will get things I want that are beyond your imagination. But if they don't, it's money just down the drain, right? Bunch of idiots running around worshiping some freaking monster. But if I get the capability to bind that damn monster, I'm going to get something out of this. It says, but here's the deal.
okay.
I understand you're providing something valuable. I will once again being interested. Well, I'm interested in how this works. You obviously are from some group, some organization that knows how to get this type of information and work it. Am I right?
In this occasion,
are.
yes.
You are, yes.
Very good. That's the type of organization I would like to have under my hire. I see you've gone quiet. What I will say is, for the coin you asked of my people originally, I'll let that happen. But if you want this 10 coin, which I will instead offer 6, I would say you're on my tenure to purloin or provide what you have talked about. This book.
But so that
Honestly, ma'am, lady,
we've
Callis,
had this conversation.
we really do not want to take on the risk.
And that
We know
provides
where it
me
is.
information about what you're going to give me.
You know, yeah, we are not some mighty group that thinks that we can just walk into a Bastille and sneak about and rob, rape, and pillage until our heart's content.
Very good.
We also are not a group that cannot
So-
deal with the courtly matters.
So here's how this is going to go. With that said, I really should give you a roll to prevent. And so what I'll do is I'll give you one more roll, but this is you can't. There's no specials. There's no anything to help you. Make a persuade in here to try and get this 1 coin out of this person.
Persuade, persuade. Where's persuade? Oh, that's down to me to tell you what I'm going to go with.
Yes, it is.
Right, so again, this is the way that I do this, gathering information about its location, movements, and blah, 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 blah. Right, okay, so I think I would actually use something about like the hunt from what I've actually gathered to try and persuade her that we really don't want any rum.
So you're desperately trying to find a skill that will weasel your way into more dice. Is this what I'm hearing?
Basically, yeah, it's either that or I can roll the consort, which is what I've been rolling all night. But sod it. I'll go with the consort, and I'll take 2 stress.
Fair enough. I'm not giving you
Okay,
anything. I'm not giving you anything for Felix. We're keeping it tight.
No,
Let's do it.
that's okay. So this is going to go downhill.
Okay.
Told you.
So what happens is she says, I like the idea of what you're trying to sell me. However, she snaps her fingers and there are guards all around you. And the 2 of you are now under the guard protection. You are happy
Kidnapped.
guests of this lady. And
do we have a choice of leaving?
No, you do not. And so right now it's 10:22. The 2 of you have been captured. And she wants the information out of you without paying for it.
I've already given her the piece of paper.
Ah, she thinks
I did say that. I put the piece of paper right up against her fingertips.
Fair enough.
She's got all the information.
Well, no,
and I already said that I don't want coin. I'm giving her but if she chooses to give us a coin or what the information is worth,
very good.
Then that's fine as well. So
very good.
Yeah, okay. So the guards are there.
Yes. So here we are.
We're her guests, and we're not going to do the job for her, but we're happy to hang around until she's done it herself.
Well, you're happily hanging around right now, but you may wind up doing the job anyway. So it's 10:23, and where we end this particular heist is with 2 of your team under the custody of Lady Kellis, and we will come back to this a couple of weeks from now to try and decide whether there's a heist to free them or whether there is a heist that they make you do together. And with that, I think this has been a very fun session, even though it was really a weird session. We've never done a social heist, and I thought it turned out pretty well. Gentlemen, scholars.
Indeed.
Okay. Sorry, Mara, you didn't have nearly as much time tonight. I did recognize that. I recognize several of you were left out because of the way this thing's worked out. But I think in general, it turned out okay. And we will take up a very dangerous situation in the near future. Thank you guys very much, and I'll chat with you soon. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.